Hello, kindergartners. So today I am going to go back over the lesson for you. It looks like it did not get recorded. So I'm going to go quickly over the lesson and you'll just pause for the activities and complete them and then press play again when you're ready to go back to the activities. 1 second as I screen share. All right. So let me make this bigger so you can see it. So the first activity, I'd like you to pause whenever you see the directions and hear the directions, and then unpause when you're done. So for this, you are going to find any of the different items that you see here, and you're going to measure them. And you can write down the measurements for, you can choose either paper clips, how long or how tall the item is, or you could use snap cubes to measure. So if you don't have all these items, just get a few of them, or you can do all of them if you want and measure them. Okay, so press pause now to do the activity. All right, normally we'd have our shout out next, our class expectations. Our math objective today is I can compare the lengths of objects and tell the length of an object using non-standard measurement. So I want you to, again, you'll pause after you hear this and then talk to your learning coach about your answers. So it says, look at these two buildings. How are they the same and how are they different? Pause and turn and talk to your learning coach about that answer. So you may have used that word bigger, and some different words that we might be meaning when we talk about bigger might be heavier, it might mean taller, or maybe you're talking about something taking up more space. So when you say bigger, I want you to think about next time, what am I meaning when I say bigger? Am I meaning that it's heavier? Am I meaning that something is taller? Or am I meaning that it's taking up some more space there? Okay, so for example, the elephant would be heavier than the mouse, right? Or the giraffe would be taller than the elephant. Or we would have here the first cup takes up more space than the second cup. All right, so we can compare things in different ways. Today, we're going to focus on length and height, how long something is, and height, how tall something is. So we're going to compare, first of all, these two people, the teacher and the little girl. And if we look at the teacher compared to the little girl, we would say the teacher is taller than the little girl. She's taller. If we're talking about the little girl versus the teacher, we would say the little girl is shorter than the teacher. What do you think about this? Is a student actually taller now? Thumbs up or thumbs down? What do you think? So when comparing things that aren't obvious, we need to make sure we line things up at their endpoints for an accurate comparison. We can't have one thing up here and one thing up here and then try and actually talk about which one's taller and which one's shorter. That's not actually taller or actually shorter because they're not at the same endpoint. Okay, so next for this, you're gonna pause and talk about your answers with your learning coach. The blank giraffe is taller than the blank giraffe. Pause for a second. Talk to your learning coach about your answer. Is it the yellow or the blue giraffe? So the answer for this is the yellow giraffe is taller than the blue giraffe. What about this one? So we have tree number 1, tree number 2. Tree number is shorter than tree number Pause and talk about your answer. So for this, we would have tree number 1 is shorter than tree number 2. All right, we're going to move along for that. And I can send the link if you want that. So can you tell which is longer? How do you know? Pause and turn and talk to your learning coach about your answer. All right, now can you tell which one is longer? Is it easy? Is it hard for you to tell? What do you think? Which one's longer? Which one's shorter? Pause and turn and talk to your learning coach. All right, so most likely you said that this is pretty hard to tell which one is longer and which one is shorter, right? And that's because we really need to make sure we line things up, have them at the exact same endpoints. So now can you tell, is it the marker or the pencil? The is longer than the Pause and turn and talk about your answer. So we would say, right, that the pencil is longer than the marker in this case. And it's all about that endpoint. We really need to make sure that they're always lined up correctly. All right, so now that we know how to compare, how can we measure the length or height of something? Just point to the type of measurement you think that we would use. Pause and turn and talk to your learning coach. So in this one, we would say that the ruler and the measuring tape would be the type of measurement that we would use for the length or height of something. Some other ways that we can measure, they're called non-standard ways of measurement. Okay, so these are going to be like when we use cubes. Okay, so all of these ways that you see here, these are all things that you can use to measure something. You would place the same thing over and over and over on something to measure it. Now you're going to pause and figure out how many cubes long is your marker. Now it's very important when we measure something that we start at the end of that object. So they line up, the cubes line up, and it goes all the way to the other end. Now, if it's not an exact measurement, we can use the word about. About, it is about this many cubes long. Pause and figure out how many cubes long your marker is. Next, you can just go around your house and go find some other objects and figure out how many cubes long those objects are. Have some fun measuring as many things as you can find in your house. So pause and go and do that next. This is your exit task that you will complete. You're going to move the rabbits over to the line to their endpoints to see which one's taller, and then type your answers in the box. Is Peter or Splotch taller? Blank is taller than blank. Then we have moving the vegetables to line up their endpoints, and then writing the words longer than or shorter than to make the sentence true. So is the carrot is the cucumber. The pepper is the cucumber. And then here's a challenge page. Which is longer, a pencil or 5 cubes? You'll circle the answer. Which is shorter, an eraser or 3 cubes? Which is longer, a notebook or 15 cubes? All right, and I will send you that ClassKick link. Here's your virtual reward. Pick which one would be the most fun to do non-standard measurement with. All right. Thanks so much for viewing this recording. I will see you tomorrow. Bye, kindergartners.